morning, you beautiful people. We're out at Mount Nemo Saturday morning. It's a little bit later in the morning. It's probably 11 o'clock. I'm going to take the day, go for a hike. Maybe show you guys some spots. Head over to Valens for camp overnight. I kept Peaches at home because it's going to be a long day for her outside. And no matter how warm I wrap her up, she's still going to be super cold. So it's going to be a good day. Got everything packed up. I have my food and everything set up. So let's make a day of her. I brought crampons just in case it gets a little too crazy. The trail's pretty packed down. There's a little bit of snow on top of it still, so get pretty good grip. I'm gonna do counterclockwise loop. So I'm going to go down the Bruce Trail, and then it turns and then runs along the escarpment, and it should take me all the way back and around to the secondary parking lot, around, and then back through the fields to the truck. So I figure about maybe 2.5 to 3 hours when it's all said and done. Here's a little trick. These overgrowths are when you need to carve out a bowl. You slice them off a dead tree, and then you can carve them out, and they're already naturally round for a bowl or a spoon, things like that. I've done it with an axe, done it with a knife. I've done it with a chunk of amber and burned through it and then carved it out. So super nice little thing to use. Doesn't look very pretty, but they certainly are handy, and people have been doing it for hundreds of years. Dead trees only. I would not venture any closer to any of these crevasses because you don't know where the rocks end and where they start and where the drops are, unless you have like a pole, and even then I wouldn't trust it. It's not worth risking life or limb over, that's for sure, just for a picture. Always stay on the trails, especially always stay on marked trails. As you see, this is why you watch your step, you avoid the ice. Nice birch bark I found on the trail. You can see the water beads off of it. It doesn't actually really soak in. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab these couple chunks, and later on tonight I'm going to use them to start the fire. Put them in the skin box. When you collect any debris and things like that that might be damp, so you're going to use later on in the hike, take it, put it in your pocket, pants pocket, so the heat of your body can help thaw it out, or at least dry it out a little bit, unless you're like me and you're like a sweaty person. this Mount Nemo was actually the site of a pit in the early 1900s, mid 1900s. And so the trail that we're coming in from the parking lot was actually the roadway to the quarry. And this trail will actually bring us to a T that we can branch off, and I'll show you the pit and the cuts. It's kind of neat to see. This is not me whittling, just so you know. That, you look way up, way up. You might not see it from this side. You see that fresh hole? There's 1, 2, 3, and the fourth one. That's a woodpecker getting in there. Getting some dinner. And we're talking a big woodpecker. Interesting fact, where we are standing right here, right now, we're actually higher than the people down there. You can take that to the bank. At this point, I'm actually going to double back and I'll show you the quarry. I learned this the other day, so I'm going to pass it on to you. The clearing will recover all at the same time, so you'll have all the trees growing back, and they're all relatively the same size, and birch love open to begin with, and then so as it takes over, they'll populate, and as the forest becomes thicker, they'll weed them out, and then slowly the harder woods and grass or whatever will choke them out. Just an interesting fact. I learned that from the happy camper. I'll make sure I put his name here, the proper, and maybe I'll actually revisit it and explain it properly as well. You can see quarry's just to the right of us here. Parking lot straight down. This is the old roadway, and as we get into the bush, you'll see a couple of the old sorting bins and conveyors and things like that. Funny story about this gorge right here. Me and my buddy and our wives at the time decided that we could jump across this from one side to the other and then down, rappel down, barehanded in the rain. while being under the influence. Cooler heads prevailed, but it was a heck of a quiet ride home, I'll tell you that. Boys. Out of curiosity, can someone explain to me how this happens? A boulder in the middle of nowhere? We're at the highest point. How the heck? How? Whew. So I made it back. Great trip. I think, let's see here, did her in, it's 2:49 and we started at, it's 2:49. We started at 11:30 and we did 14,750 steps, 63 floors, so 11K. That's not bad. It was well worth it though. Now to go camping. I'm here at my campsite in Valens. It's opened up. I've stayed here probably 3 times at this site. It's changed now. I had to cut down a couple of trees. Open it up maybe for some hardwood to grow in here. It would be kind of nice. Oh, I'm looking forward to tonight. It's going to be good. Snow's still a little deep. It's probably about 6 to 8 inches. I had to bust in with the truck. I think it's going to be good. Still beautiful out and a little cloudy, but we're supposed to get Aurora Borealis tonight, so I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully I'll run everything with candlelight tonight and then we'll see. I got some great stuff to try out tonight in here. I got this I like to play with. It's a little gusty, but I think I can come up and down left and right, maybe get a good look around when the wind settles down. Amazon cook set I just picked up. So I'm gonna give that a try tonight. A little candle kit I picked up. Give that a try tonight. I'm really excited about this. It's a portable wood fire pit. So I think that'll be nice tonight. I'm going to try that here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put down a pad. There's a fire pit here, but it's all full of stuff. I figured I could set it up right here, kind of do my own thing. I got my shovel it all out, get it all clean. Have my chair. Oh, I also have this I picked up. And it's a multi-end cord for charging. Hopefully my battery still has enough power in it. I haven't charged it all year. And last time I used it was 4 or 5 days ago. It was about 70%, so should be good. My spoon, a saw. I grabbed some firewood, and plus the truck was already loaded with firewood, so we're good there. Fire kit. I'm gonna set up and organized everything in the back of the truck because it's like a bomb went off right now. Actually, it's not that bad. And then I'll get right back to it. I built my cap into a camper, and I'm just going to do a little quick once through because I got a couple of things. I added some things. I took some things away to make it function the way I need it to. I've used this camper as a camper for winter camping probably, I bet you I've hit 8 times already. Fields, dead end roads, once or twice parking lots, trailhead. Not a big fan of that. I like actually camping and relaxing. I always have that weird feeling that someone's going to open the door on me. I don't know. I'm sure over time I'd get used to that. I'm planning some big trips up north with the truck in a canoe, and I'm really looking forward to taking you guys along for that. Anywho, this is my layout. So I got some firewood for the fire pit that I just bought that I'm going to give it a try. Then here I got my Palmolive stove. I put a hole in the top and I open that up and run my pipe through. I have my countertop. I have my storage area. Basics here. At the end I got my fire extinguisher, my carbon monoxide detector, my battery pack's in there. It's at 75%. I have a LED light. I also have computer fans to circulate the air around here. I put down rubber mats for my comfort going in and out. I got it shortened up right now just because you don't have it in front of the wood stove. I put this prep board down, and that's what I have there, and then I put a silicone mat to catch anything that falls out that might catch fire, some ambers and things like that. I have a 3-piece folding mattress there in the front. Of course, my pillow, my minus 40 sleeping bag. I put a couple mats around my head area there just because when it gets really windy, there's a breeze that comes up from the front of the box. It's open up and over, and just to keep it off my head. So I put those there, but it's a work in progress. On the top, I put some suspension, some spider netting, and of course I have spider netting in the front. I put my books in there, glasses, gloves, anything that I want easy access to, my phone perhaps. In the front is cooking utensils, and because these lift up, is some cooking utensils and some clothes, and fire starter, some long hour-long burning logs, those man-made ones that work great because I can break them to fit into the stove because of the size of it. And here's my chimney with my wood prep, a couple of pieces of tools, and my chairs over there. So I'm going to set it up now, and you can see how quickly it sets up. Done. So the stove just opens up, load it up, ash in the bottom, our vents. So I bought this for hot tenting, but it wasn't the best for my winter camping setup. I needed a bit bigger stove, as in longer, so it could handle more wood, because processing the wood for this is a pain in the neck. But it works out perfect for this scenario. On to the fire pit. This is my, I'm pretty impressed with this thing. Wow, don't think it's going to be a very big fire, but it's got a nice little cooking screen on there for charcoal, and charcoal would be perfect in here. And it's got things when I'm not. There's two versions available for this. I bought the bigger version. How big do you need, right? I think that's going to be working okay. We'll give that a try a little bit later. I don't know if you can see that. Doesn't take very much. Of course, I'd build more up, but I'm not quite ready for a fire. Just wanted to show you while the daylight was still going. It was kind of calm breeze. But see how quickly that lights up, right? Was that 3 seconds worth of work? I try not to overstack it. I'm using some pretty big stuff here, but this is super dry. But I always try to have the flames at least 2 or 3 inches above it. And that really lets me know that I'm not going to smother it. Sometimes good is simple, and sometimes simple is good. Fire pit seems to be working quite well. I put my heat reflectors for my wood stove around here just to kick some of the heat back because the wind's blowing from behind me. So I put my solar reflector from my truck as a back warmer, which is really nice, and it's just high enough just to keep the wind off of me. And I'm kind of nestled in here, but the wind just once in a while zips by. It was a good day. I liked it. A lot of stuff. Kind of missed Peaches. But I think, as I said before, it would have been too long a day for her. I'm gonna probably sit here and just relax and just enjoy life for a little bit longer. Probably for about another hour or two. Burn half this bag of wood. Then it'll be dark by then. Put something on to eat. Daylight savings is tomorrow, so everything has to go forward. So I'm gonna lose an hour. I guess is this the last time they do it? I don't know. They say it every year. Who knows? Good morning. It's 7 o'clock. A little bit of a late rise today, but got the fire going. Got down to -7 last night. The sky was absolutely beautiful out. Just every time I can come out, I'm always amazed just how beautiful it is out here. So I got my fruit salad happening. I'm just gonna get some coffee on and see what the day brings us. I think the little hike is in order. There's a nice little trail here. I'm gonna put the kettle on, but I want just to show this little kit here. This is gonna be permanently in the truck. So it cost me $30 for this kit, and just to get the kettle alone was $27 on its own. So I figured, well, for $30 I'll do this instead. And it comes with frying pan. It's a pretty heavy frying pan, folding handles, lid, fits on both, which is nice, and a kettle, and a nice pot. Bag to hold it all together. Really, for $30, it's a good kit. The pot I'm not really too impressed with. If you see at the handle here, it's just riveted on the two sides, not in the center. So there's some flex that happens there when you have some heavy water and things like that in there. But all in all, I have a pot grabber from a MSR kit that would work for this, no problem. I love this little kettle because if you see, it fits perfect. See, it fits perfect on there. It's coffee first, everything else is second, which is the way it should be. So I'm just gonna fill up, get the morning started, and I'll talk to you a little bit later, and we'll pull out the drone and give that a try. I'm just heading out for a hike. Enjoy this beautiful day. So we're here, so we're going to walk up and around through, down the boardwalk and across, and hopefully around back. And then down, and we'll call that a day. I think there's a misconception about hiking and trails. Not every trail has to have those epic views and vistas. Sometimes a hike is just a good hike. Go out for a walk and experience it. You get what you put into it, that's for sure. It's not complicated, it's not challenging, but it's great for everybody. You know, bring the kids here, go biking it, running it. Trail running would be awesome, actually. I think maybe that's a good thing I'll do this year. It's all flat land here. Of course, if anyone's familiar with Flamborough, in the lower part of Burlington, it's like this. But it's its own beauty. And everyone seems to be in a good mood, and everyone seems to enjoy it here. You can see here there's been some really wicked wind damage and a lot of debris on the trail. I think I can manage to get over this, but sometimes you just have to find an alternate route and around and things like that. It just shows just how powerful the wind can be. Devastating. Absolutely devastating. going to take this apart now. I'm going to clean it out into the fire pit, take it apart and see how bad it's warped. It was warping pretty good last night when I was having a fire, but I also burned it pretty hot for 6 hours. Overall, first impressions is it looks pretty good. I don't know, I think it's worth it at this moment. Let's just see what it's like. Well, you can see that the main plate warped, and I think that's how you have to take this thing apart too. See how well that heat went. Oops. Okay, I can probably. Oh, it's not very nice, I'll tell you that much. So right off the bat, I think I'm going to cut these on a 45 so I can put it in here, line up a bit better. Okay. That's why I was having so much difficulty. So it just it's the warping. It's the bad thing. So my overall impression of this is one-time use, I guess. It didn't self-destruct, but it sure needs some tweaking. I think I'm gonna have to open it up so it's a lot looser and then the metals can move. I think with the heating and the contracting on both sides, it's a lot of forces on there. Probably heavier gauge would have worked. I think all in all I paid $65 for it. I think with charcoal maybe it would be okay. A small wood fire, like a stick fire, something that you're not trying to stay warm all night with, that's for sure. Oh, I'm going to clean it up and I'll give it another try. I'm going to modify it a bit, open up some of these spaces, straighten it back out again, and just see, because it did cost $65, and well, the sponsor that I have is really cheap. It's called Work, so gotta use it and reuse it a couple more times. I think I'll have to get maybe pay for itself. I think $10 a fire would be a reasonable price to put on this, sitting around a campfire. $10 a time, so I have to get 5 more fires out of this to pay for itself before I consider it garbage. At least that's how I work things out. I put a cost to everything. Alrighty, I'm packing up now and I'm gonna head home. I hope you had a great trip with me. I enjoyed having you guys with me. And next time there might be grass and I'll have peaches out for the adventure. Take care, be safe, keep it simple.